Hello everyone, this is Lawrence Braswell with the video presentation part of my audition for the master's program at Gothenburg University. Wanted to say hello, for starters, to Mr. Anders Jorman and also Mr. Anders Hultquist and everyone on the jury or the decision-making committee. For starters, I want to mention that the idea of improvisation, of course, isn't only single note soloing, it's obviously also supportive playing and comping. So I had mentioned in the email, of course sent to Mr. Anders Jorman, that I thought John Coltrane's Equinox would be a good starting point for a song or a tune to focus on. So I'm going to play through Equinox. I'm going to play through one chorus of Equinox from the point of view of a comping, or a comping point of view, or from a rhythmical point of view, and then I will discuss or describe what I played. So here we go. For that type of comping, I was using chord inversions, minor seventh and dominant seventh chord inversions that use a particular string grouping or a particular set or group of strings. In this case, for all of those chords, I was using a 6-4-3-2 string grouping. For example, with the C minor 7 chord here, I use the 6th string, root note C, and then of course the 4th string, 3rd string, and 2nd string. Same thing here with this C minor 7 chord with the E flat in the bass, and then the treble notes being played on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd notes. And all of the examples, the 5th string is muted. That holds also true for the C minor 7 here, as well as the C minor 7 here. This particular chord I played without the root note. I removed my ring finger from the root note C and put the ring finger on the B flat in the bass, and not using the pinky for this particular chord fingering. This is a very useful movable shape because it slides very, very well. And I use that as part of that comping. I also used an F minor 7 chord, F minor 7th with A flat in the bass, and F minor 7 here with F in the bass, an A flat 7 with C in the bass, a G7 with B in the bass, and then back to the C minor 7, and just grab a couple of upper extension notes, actually, the A and the D, for a little bit of a different voicing to finish the 12th measure. The same type of comping can be done, once again, depending on what type of accompaniment there is. You might want to play the same ideas on the top 3 strings. Let me play it in a bit of a different way, and we can discuss this afterwards. Here we go. Also 12 measures, 12 bars. In this case, the comping was done in a higher octave, in a higher register, basically using triads on the top 3 strings. All of those ideas were exclusively done using the top 3 strings. For example, the first chord was obviously a C minor triad with C on the, it voiced at the top of the chord, E flat as the lowest note, and the G, the fifth, in the middle of the voicing. I also use a C minor triad here, with C as the middle voiced tone, E flat, the minor third, as the highest pitch tone, pardon me, and the fifth of the triad G as the lowest note of the three. Also using, for example, F minor triad here, with F voiced in the middle, A flat on the top, the highest pitch note, and C, the lowest of the three tones. And then a nice movable major shape here. It's actually a shape that can function for a major chord or a dominant seventh chord, and it's just a triad, but it's an A flat major triad here sliding into the G major triad, and then back to C to finish the form. As far as single notes are concerned, I like to play a very, very simple phrase and then discuss how that was put together with the Dorian scale, minor seventh arpeggios, and the pentatonic scale. So this particular phrase would go like so, and I'll start this here on a target note for a G Dorian scale with this E note here. It's a target note for G Dorian, and it goes like so. That type of phrase is used for a single note soloing, and that type of phrase is done predominantly with Dorian scale, with the minor seventh arpeggios, and also pentatonic scales. You'll notice I started on the E string, the high E string, and just simply descended down the string using the notes from an from a G Dorian mode. But keeping in mind that I needed a target note, something to sustain, to bring out the flavor of G Dorian, and that's the note E, starting here. Going down the Dorian scale on one string. Then there was descending notes of actually a B flat major 7 arpeggio into the G minor 7th arpeggio, like so, with chromatic notes in between. Then with the sweeping feeling made with the G minor 7th arpeggio, we work our way back up the neck. There's the note E again. Here comes a G Dorian mode into a G minor triad, G, B flat, D, played in reverse. Now we use just use the G Dorian mode here, and then finishing with a pentatonic scale, finishing on E, our target note. So that's a great example of how to use all those ideas put together. I feel we can only cover so much ground. I have a lot of other ideas I would love to discuss. I wanted to kind of condense it, and hopefully I got to describe what I wanted to discuss. I want to thank everyone at the university, and I do hope to see you soon, and thank you very much, Mr. Andrew Jorman especially. Have a fantastic day. Thank you.